Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Alright, as promised, this is the last pick a pile out of the thingy that I posted, the poll, to see what you guys wanted to see. This one, I know there wasn't as many of you who wanted to see it, but the ones who did want to see it really wanted to see it. So here it is. Pick your pile. 1, 2, or 3. We have labradorite, unicorn, quartz crystal, crackle quartz, and then petrified wood. So it is 44 seconds. Number 1. This person's back. Now what? So these messages can be for you, like, you can take it if your person is back, you're contacting them, or you're in limited contact with them. See what's going to happen. And also for those of you who their person's not back, say they come back, you can kind of see, like, now what's going to happen. All right. So first you got the 4 of Pentacles, which is about building your foundation. I keep noticing the moon today in this card, though. So I feel like there could be some insecurities in regards to the foundation that's been built. Obviously, if you're like, they're back, you've been through separation, you don't want to go back into separation. You could be a little bit insecure about what's being built in this now, like where's this going? Obviously you're worried about it. And I feel like your person may be feeling the same. Your person may actually be kind of like feeling a little shaky too. And you guys are going to mirror. So remember that. Remember, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, you're able to impact them energetically, and they're going to start mirroring your energy. So be mindful of how you feel, what you think, what you say, what you do, because you're the creator of your reality, and they're going to pick up on your energy and they're going to mirror it back to you. So try to stay positive. Forget about the past. Forget about the crap that's transpired that's been detrimental to the connection, and just focus on the now. And then we have the 9 of Wands. So it tells me that you both are in this energy of like wanting to not give up on the connection. If you wanted to give up, you wouldn't be communicating. This person wouldn't be back. Okay. So try not to focus on fear. Try to open up your heart. We have the cosmic heart, cosmic Christ coming in. So it's like, open up your heart to the unconditional love that's inside for this person. You love this person unconditionally, and just know that they love you the same, or they wouldn't be coming back. Okay. People don't come back unless there's something inside of them that's drawing them back to you. So they may do things in the physical, or they may have done stuff in the past that didn't feel great, that made you want to give up, that made you feel like this person, there's no way this person could love me. If they love me, they wouldn't treat me this way. But what I'm getting from Spirit is that they do love you, and you've been through the ending and the new beginning, and I feel like you've come to the end of a cycle. We have 2 9s coming through. This is number 27, but if you add this up, it's about endings and new beginnings. The number 9 is about that ending and new beginning. So this is a new beginning to rebuild your foundation. And this is part of your purpose here. This life path is part of your purpose, is to come together to heal, to grow for your foundation. And there's also 1111 messages in the numbers. So you're getting messages from Spirit. There's synchronicity guiding you. The 9s are guiding you. The 4s are guiding you. Pay attention to what you're seeing, because it's helping you. And I also feel like you guys cleared out a lot of karma in your past cycle. And that's what's allowed for them to come in now. All right. They wouldn't be back if they weren't able to come back. That doesn't mean that they always stay. I don't want people to be like, feeling like I don't have to do anything now, they're back for good, but I also don't want you to go into those places of fear. Just try to stay in that place of balance and know that you've cleared a lot of karma out. Spirit is guiding you. Pay attention to the synchronicity that is there, and know that this is part of your divine path, to just open up your heart and love each other unconditionally, and see from a higher perspective, see through Christ consciousness, which is basically unconditional love embodied through our consciousness. All right. So whatever you're thinking, try to come from a place of unconditional love, and know that you're stepping into your divine work, and you're healing, you're growing, you're healing stuff from past lives, you're healing stuff from this lifetime, your person's karma, your karma. It's all clearing up so that these changes can appear. Number 5 is about change. So you have a lot of change happening, you have a lot of endings happening. You have this new beginning. You're getting lots of synchronicity. The foundation is being rebuilt together. So try not to go into the storms of the past. See this as your opportunity to shine. See this as your opportunity to grow together now. And the 8 of Wands tells me that this person does want to take action with you. They want to communicate with you. And I feel like they want to rise up. I'm seeing, I don't really know what those are, but they look like sheep to me. And I've never noticed this before, but I'm noticing it now. This is the collective consciousness. This is all the sheeps. These are the people who are unawakened, who go through their 9-to-5 jobs, who come home and hate life, and they do the, picket fence fairy tale. And it's like hell on earth, basically, because they're just living through ego. They're living through what society has taught them to do. So they just do what they are, they got their bedtime, they got their alarms, they've got their meetings, they've got their shit that just doesn't amount to anything. And I feel like this person wants to take action away from that. And you could be wanting to take action away from that too, because 1111 is an awakening number. So you guys could be going through a furthering of your awakening. I feel like when we first awaken, we awaken to this concept, but we don't really understand it fully. We still have that foundation that's built there. We get beaten up on the path. Sometimes we want to give up on the path because we're like, this is bullshit. This doesn't make sense. You just get beat up, so you stop believing in stuff. But I feel like your guys are both ascending to the next level of consciousness and awakening, wanting to break free from the herd mentality, wanting to break free from the limitations of society, what they have placed on you, and awakening to a higher consciousness, awakening to the Christ consciousness, which is a part of your divine mission to help clear the karma for the collective. So you guys are really getting into alignment with your soul path and mission. So this could be your union. That is what it's about. It's about coming together and ascending and really healing and assisting others to heal. And when you start doing that, you start attracting all the abundance of the universe. You start attracting, people notice, a lot of you will rise up and help lots of other people. You'll either become, well-known healers or whatever, but not even just that. You could, some people will have stuff to do with everybody's going to have their own little thing. Some of you could be working with women, some of you could be working with men, you could be working with children. There's so many different ways that this can manifest through assisting the collective to rise and to understand, to take back the power of their thoughts, to take back the power of their energy, to be mindful of their energy, and to break out of the conditioning that society laid down for people as children. That's part of your life purpose and mission here. And when you start rising into your life mission, and you're not just going to the job just to make your money and just to do the thing, just to do what everybody else is doing, you open up a doorway to amazing abundance, and you get recognized for it. You rise up through, social connections as well. You build your soul family, you attract your soul family, you get recognition for the work that you're doing collectively. So I really feel like this is time for you guys to take that leap of faith into doing your soul mission's work. I do feel like there's a lot of anxiety, though, on both parts. And then this owl here is bringing you guys wisdom. So you could both be receiving downloads at night, and you could both be afraid of taking this leap of faith because you both sense that it's bigger than you. This isn't it's once you're in, you're not going back, okay? I don't think either one of you want to give up on it, but I think you're both a little intimidated by it, or at least one person is definitely intimidated by the fact of leaving behind the old life, leaving behind the old way of being, the old way of being, the way of thinking, the way of feeling, because people get stuck in it and that's all they know. They don't know that they can feel better. They don't know that they can have more. They don't know that breaking out of giving a shit what other people thinks is the most freeing thing you can have, and it gives you so much release from anxiety and from the pressures of society. You can just be. And so, oh my God, you got the Fool twice. So I feel like you guys do want to do this, and you sense that there's something bigger here. And I feel like you are taking this leap of faith, and together And then we have the fire alpha female. So this is the Queen of Wands. So you guys are the feminine is definitely aligning with her soul mission and work at this time. So you may have this big calling if you're not already into the spiritual work, if you're not already like a reader or a healer or doing something that's helping the collective consciousness. And it doesn't have to be like professionally. You could just be doing it by yourself, or just, you know, connecting with your soul fam like nearby. Maybe you go to meditations or something like there, you know, you're starting to step into it. But I feel like there, you know, inside of you, there's a fire burning that's meant for greater things, and that you're meant to learn more, you're meant to heal more, you're meant to grow more. And so I feel like Divine Feminine is definitely taking her leap of faith in regards to her life path. And I feel like your Divine Masculine's right behind you, but they may be a little bit more hesitant, because I feel like some of them still have like things that they do in the physical world that's kind of basic, like, you know, just the basic way of living, and they could be a little bit more intimidated about like the whole spiritual aspect of it. But I feel like they intuitively know that there's something bigger here, and you both know that. But I do think that you guys are getting creative in how you approach this. But the Nine of Swords is here again. So you got the Nine of Swords twice and the Fool twice. So you guys are freaking out. You're both kind of freaked out about about taking this leap of faith. So I feel basically you guys kind of just need to do it, but I feel like you're mirroring each other, honestly, too. I feel like the Divine Masculine has a lot of anxiety about this new beginning, and the Divine Feminine has a lot of it. And you guys are just mirroring this, like, back to each other. But it's time to take that leap of faith and to just trust in the process, to trust the divine, trust the talents that are inside of you awakening, and trust this transformation that you're going through, and trust the power of your Divine Masculine. Know that he can do this, you know, like he's gonna do what he's meant to do. You just have to trust it and trust the plan. You know, you don't have to know all the details. Like, this came through last night and what needs to be healed. And I feel like you can definitely, you know, use those messages in connection to what probably needs to be healed in yours. I can't remember what number it was, but it was like, you got to just trust. So you got to release like the fear. You got to release the wondering and what ifs and all of that, and just go into the moment. This is your invitation to connect to the higher realms, to the higher consciousness. This is your reassurance from spirit that this is time for you guys to step into this. Whether you do it individually or together, you know, you can do it. You can take that leap of faith, Divine Feminine, into your spiritual work, which by default is going to assist them. And I promise it will help alleviate a lot of the anxieties that you may be carrying, because when you're in a place of pureness and you're in a place of balance, you don't really have room for the anxiety. So start meditating before you go to bed at night. Start making affirmations. Be grateful that they're back. Be grateful that you're communicating. Be grateful that it goes beyond a day. Whenever mine comes back, they're gone the next day. So just be grateful for the little things. Don't hold on to the anxieties of the pain of the past or the what ifs and they're back, they're going to leave, you know. Because I feel like when we worry about that, that's what we start to create. And whatever your Divine Masculine's worried about in regards to taking this leap of faith, you kind of just have to hold space for him, you know, and hope that he can get through it, and give him room. Give him room to get creative, because we've got the Page of Wands coming through. So give him room to be creative, and don't freak out. Like, if you don't hear from him for like a day or whatever, just be cool. Just be calm and collected, because you're both having a lot of anxiety, and I feel like the triggers are going to be easily got in this connection. You may just like freak out at it because of something small or something insignificant, and then you could set yourself way back. So just be careful not to freak out. And I feel like things are going to work out for you guys, but you just have to be mindful of those fears. You have to be mindful of what you're thinking right now. So let me see if I can get like what may happen between the two of you, because I feel like we're seeing a lot of the divine energy, so which makes me feel like this may be it. You know, this is like that reassurance from spirit that this could be the time that you make it last. But let me see, like, you know, what may transpire. Wow, we got the Emperor who just jumped right out. So I feel like your Divine Masculine has done his, like, the work that he needed to do to come back. Like, he grew himself. He planted those seeds down. And Divine Feminine, you're showing in the Queen of Wands energy again. So he's passionate about you. He's passionate about this connection. He knows that there's something blossoming here that's of value, and he wants to be seen as valuable to you. So he wants to give to you maybe things that he wasn't ready to give to you in the past. He's ready to give you his time, his energy. He's ready to show you that he can be the emperor. He wants to have that power. I feel like you guys are like a power couple. You're definitely going to have a lot of power together. And with the Ten of Cups, it's like you definitely have this potential for the happy ending here. So I don't really feel like there's too much for me to tell you guys other than don't freak out. You know, don't look at the illusions of things. Just know that this person has worked on his transformation, and you've worked on your transformation. You are divine lovers. You're meant to be together, and that's all you need to know. And get creative in how you approach this. If there's a third-party situation, I mean, I wouldn't even engage with that, but if there's a third-party situation, I mean, you got to do what you feel is right. But if there's another person, I would pull myself back just because I'm not somebody that can deal with that. But if you're okay with it, I do feel like they'll choose you in the end, okay? I do feel like they're trying to make their choice in regards to that so they can have this new beginning where their passion really is, because they have a lot of passion for you. And I think they want to celebrate with you. So try to have fun when you're together. Try not to go into like the fears of anxiety or depression. Try not to worry about the secrets. And just because I brought up third parties doesn't mean your person has one. If you don't know about one, don't create one in your mind, because you will manifest it, okay? You are very powerful manifestors. So whatever fears you guys are focused on will start to manifest in the physical. It may not be there, but you'll see it because you have those illusions there. With the Seven of Cups, it's like you guys are very powerful right now, but you're also freaking each other out. So try not to do that. So if you don't know about anybody else, don't create that person. I just feel like for some of you, for whatever reason, I feel like they may be back around, but they may still have somebody in the background. They may have some sort of secret, and that's not for all of you. So don't go into the more anxiety about that. You know, if you have clear, like if you can see them, you can see their day-to-day life, you know what they're doing, and there's no reason for you to think that, then don't think that. And even if they are, and you're like, you know, dating, they say they're dating multiple people and you're okay with it, I do feel like this person will choose you in the end. But you just need to be creative in how you approach this. Have fun with each other. Don't freak out about the past. Don't focus on the illusions. Don't create things that aren't there, because it's just going to be detrimental to your connection. Focus on the divine purpose. Focus on being in service to the collective, and just take the leap of faith. Okay, and do as much as you can to heal any anxiety that you've got going on. Meditation is great. Reiki healing is good for you. Like getting a nice healing session will really help you to just like release any anxiety that you may hold on to. Getting outside, going to the beach, connecting with pets. Like there's so many ways. Taking a nice hot bath. Just doing things that kind of disconnect from whatever. Like if you can distract your mind, do that. And don't binge watch a bunch of readings right now either, because that's going to make you even more like, whoa, because if you're in communication, I know a majority of readings are for people who are in separation. So you may get triggered by that. And don't get triggered by parts of readings that don't resonate for you. You know, if you want a private reading, get a private reading. Don't get triggered by the fact that some people have a third party within your pile. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like you guys are highly charged right now, and that energy isn't great, especially when you're trying to start over with somebody, because it can lead to this real quick, and it can lead to, you know, putting a halt on it real quick as well. So just be careful in what you're communicating. But I do feel like this person is here to stay if you guys can get rid of that anxiety and just focus on the positive aspects of what's happening between the two of you. All right, so I'm going to move on to number 2 at 1852. We're going to see they're back. Now what? So this can be to help you, say you're in limited contact with this person, you're wondering like what's going to go on, where you're at right now. For others, it could be that they've come back and you're just wondering what's going to be going on. And then for others, it could be you're not in communication, they haven't come back yet, but when they do, you might be able to expect this type of thing, okay? So I have the Page of Cups, I have the Four of Wands, I have the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, 6 of Sky, 3 of Earth, the Lovers, and the Sun. So you got really good energy coming through here. Really nice cards coming through right out the gate. We also have reassurance of the golden light with number 36, which is 9, which is about endings and new beginnings, past life activation, dark night of the soul, and the heart transmission. So I'm feeling, first of all, with the Page of Cups, this still is like new, all right? So this could definitely be for those of you who haven't really talked to them in a while, and it's like this is fresh communication. But it's also like young, okay? It's like kind of like immature offer. It's not like the full-on offer, but with the Four of Wands coming out right after it, I feel like it's gonna lead to this, you know what I mean? Like they may not know exactly how to word it, they may not know exactly how to approach you, but they're trying, okay? I feel like this person really is trying to give you like this, all right? They feel like they just don't know exactly how to go about it because they've never experienced a connection like this, which can be hard. Like these connections aren't usually normal, and it's like, are we just gonna like pretend like those last like 6 months didn't happen, or are we starting over like we never met? Like it's just awkward, and so it brings that awkward energy out because it's like, well, what do we talk about? Because there's like a big elephant in the fucking room. Like, well, why did you do that again? You know what I mean? Like, why do you keep running away from me? And then you come back, you know? So it's like that. It's just, it's awkward as fuck. And, but I don't feel like this person wants it to be like that. And I think that's why they run from it, because it's so freaking weird. It's like, it's just easier to run from it, but they can only run for so long because they are always drawn back to you. They love you. They can't stay away from you. So it's like, I don't really want to be in that awkwardness, but I can't stay away from that awkwardness. So, and that may not be for all of you. Some of you, it may just be that this person is like younger than you, okay? Because the Page is somebody who's young. It's they just like they're just out of high school type of energy, or they're just like a little bit less mature than you maybe. So with the Four of Wands, though, I feel like this is where they want it to go. They want to get here with you. They may want to have you be the mother of their children. With the Empress, I'm really feeling like they see you in that energy as like a nurturing, loving mom. And that may be why they're coming through in this energy too, because they may really want to get you, you know, preggy and having a baby. Especially with the bunnies here. They definitely probably want to do what it takes to make the baby. But the Empress is the mom, you know, she's the giver, she's the nurturer, she's the lover. She is the lover. She's the one that the divine masculine wants to spend the rest of his life with. So this is the sun, this is the divine masculine's energy. And I feel like at one point you may have walked away from this person, okay? One of you guys walked away from each other, but I feel like what probably did happen, because they're showing as the Page, but wanting union, I feel like you may have been with this person at one point and you didn't work, like you weren't showing, like you were both in this Page energy. You were, you know, like a little bit less mature than you may be approaching things now. You may not have had the boundaries that you've like put up now. And so now they kind of feel like a Page coming back because they've never experienced you with the boundaries that you have. I really feel like you've worked on the value and the worth of yourself, and you had to walk away in order to do that, because whatever was happening in the past, those awkward moments, the running and then the coming back and then running away again, you had to put a stop to it. And so I feel like through them having you leave, it brought about the insecurities of like, oh my God, what if I actually lose this person for good? Because I don't think they thought that they ever would. I don't think they thought this was ever going to happen, that you were ever going to exercise what they saw in you all along. I feel like they knew your value, but you didn't exercise it, so they got away with not you know, respecting you the way that the Empress should be respected. So she's the embodiment of all the queens, but because the Queen of Pentacles is here, I feel like this is the one that you've been needing to work on the most. This was your lesson, was to find your value and your worth within, and it not so much in the external, but I feel like you have acquired that as well. I feel like you got your shit together, you got your abundance going. You're unique in comparison to the other people that this person has probably connected with throughout their life. They may not be connecting with anybody right now, but I feel like whoever they have connected with, even you're now unique to who they once knew. But they always saw your value. They always saw you as unique, but now you're even more so. Like now you've even acquired more of that. And I feel like that's why they may be a little bit like even more even more like feeling awkward about it, because you may have had to say no to them at some point, and that kind of hurts somebody's ego, and that can make, especially if they're in the page energy, it will hit their ego. It's going to make them feel like less than. And I don't think that was your intention. I just think that you needed to put these up in order for this person to realize that what was going on, the cycle that was repeating between the two of you, couldn't keep happening. It was just going to destroy you. It was going to destroy what value and worth you did have inside of you, which I don't feel like you had that much when it came to this person. You were willing to jump through hoops for them. And instead, now you're like, no, I'll hold the hoop. If you want to jump, go ahead, but I'm not gonna. Like, you just kind of risen up into this energy, and I feel like that's what's attracting them back towards you too, for the Four of Wands. So they don't feel like they have bad intention, but I'm going to be honest in saying that they may end up, you know, getting freaked out again, just because of this energy, because there's like a little bit of an imbalance between the two of you. And don't take it personally. Don't get triggered by it, because just me saying that triggers you, then that shows you need to heal more stuff. So just take it, digest it, figure out how you can adjust it within your connection so that they don't freak out and run from you again, okay? Without taking away this, okay? Don't let your values and your boundaries drop down, but don't, you know, act like to them either. You know, try to show them the value inside of them. When you treat a man like a king, they'll treat you like a queen. You know, just try to show them that you don't see the page. Just because they may be acting like one, or because the things that they've done have been page-like, doesn't mean that that's what you see of them. And even if you did see that within them, there's obviously something inside of there that you're still wanting, or you wouldn't be interacting with them. So focus on what you're wanting and tell them like the good stuff. Don't bring up the bad stuff. I mean, if they do something really, really dumb, then exercise that voice of yours, the Queen of Swords energy, and say, listen, that's not okay behavior with me. If you want to be in my life, I need to make sure that we're going to like be working on this together. Three of Pentacles, which I feel like this is what you guys are going to be doing now. Okay, so like, these two work together, and they tell this dude what to do to build this. So it's like you two need to be in this together to know how to build Four of Wands. So you want to talk to them like you're equal. You want to give them the same respect and energy that they would, that you want from them. And if they're not giving it to you, then pull yourself away, because you don't need to get bruised again. You don't need to get hurt again. With the Six of Air coming through, I feel like it's time to move on from the troubles, but you're both in this protective self energy. You're over here trying to protect yourself from like things that have happened before with them, and they're up here trying to protect their little nuts and trying to make sure that you don't like rip them off because they do something stupid. Because they just don't know, basically. And so you got to work together in this to build union. And I feel like you will. But you got to be mindful of these triggers that you guys have. Like, look at these thorns as the triggers, and look at them and like heal them, communicate about them, tell each other about them. Don't just, and if they don't want to talk about it, you know, then you need to walk away, because if they don't want to talk about the things that are going to lead to the partnership, then that means that they're not willing to work on the partnership right now, and you still have to work on this. So it doesn't mean that you're like, I hate you, I'm never talking to you again, but just pull yourself back. Because I feel like what happened was you pulling yourself back is now what's brought this person back towards you. You walking away triggered that fear in them that they don't want to lose you, and they want to move on out of the troubles into a partnership. But if they're still being immature about it, they don't want to communicate properly about it, then I would protect yourself and move on for now. Just pull yourself back. That doesn't mean you cut off all communication, but just let them know, like, until you really want to talk about this, like adults, you know, I'm going to just pull myself back, because I don't want to set myself up for failure again with you. If you're not going to work on the partnership, then I need to work on my own self. But I feel like this person will work with you. I think they're just as scared as you are of getting hurt again, and that there's going to be triggers that needs to be looked at. But again, with the Sun and the Lovers, like, this has the potential to end well. And I'm seeing the Sun above the Lovers too. So I feel like your Divine Masculine has this ability to rise into his true divine self and make the decision to stick around and to work on the partnership together. You've done your work. They just need to vibrate up and match you there. And I feel like they will, and that they have the potential to already have done that, but they just are kind of immature in their emotions. All right. They may not know how to communicate how they feel because they've never had to do it before. Or they may not know how to do it with you because you've never been in the energy you are now. So be loving with them, you know, like come from your heart and know that this person's probably just come out of the dark night of the soul, or you could have just come out of the dark night of the soul. So you don't want to go back into that. So really let your heart guide you and trust yourself. Like, trust the divine masculine energy inside of yourself too, to guide your true divine masculine, or vice versa. If you're the divine masculine tuning in, trust your divine masculine energy to assist your divine feminine to empowering herself to come out of any darkness, to come into this place of her heart, to love unconditionally, because that's all that the answer really is in these things, is to just love each other unconditionally, but to be mindful of the triggers with each other, to not trigger each other, and to communicate so that it doesn't continue to happen. And if they're not ready or willing to do that, or they're not ready or willing to not do the things that trigger you, then you need to pull each other, you just need to pull away for a little bit so that you don't go back into a deep depression, you don't go back into, you know, feeling like the Page of Pentacles or whatever. Like, you should be feeling that Empress energy. You should be feeling good about the connection. You should be feeling good about saying, I love this person. And then past life activation is number 35, so it's an 8. I feel like you guys really are rising out of the stuff that was dealt with in past lives. So this rainbow energy is here too, and I feel like there's you guys have that rainbow warrior energy where you're here to assist others with bringing that energy down into the collective. But I also feel like this is a big part of what the Dark Night of the Soul was about, what all of this stuff that you had to walk away was from. I think you guys went through similar dynamics in the past lives that you've had together here. So whatever's going on right now, if you guys, if you're still having some darkness or some depression and fears and things like that, do meditation to navigate through your past life, to feel what needs to be healed, to find how can I assist both of us coming truly into our true divine masculine selves? What choices do we need to make this partnership work? How can we work together to alleviate each other's fears of being hurt again, or of, running away again just because of the intensity of the connection? I feel like that's why they run, is just this intense connection. It's not that they want to run from you. It's like that card, your intensity allures and frightens me all at one time. It's it pulls them in, but it also freaks them out. So sometimes it pushes them away. But I think that when you pull away, it pulls them towards you. So keep that in mind as you're going through this. When they start to do stuff, don't chase after them. Say you send them a message and they don't message you, don't message them again. Pull yourself back. Don't chase after them. Let them come to you. And then the reassurance of the golden light. Again, I feel like you've come to the end of a cycle. This is a new beginning. And there's reassurance here from Spirit that things are going to be okay. And you are awakening that divine light of the divine masculine into your connection. And that's come through a lot recently. The true divine masculine energy is rising right now. A lot of them went through the dark night of the soul, or some of them are in this right now. So they're going to be coming out of it soon. And so for those of you in separation, you may be getting a masculine that's fresh out the dark night, and you know how intense those are and how scary it is, and not wanting to go back into it. So you need to meet them like this. You need to just embrace them and love them and nurture them. Be the empress, be the mom, mother that inner child of theirs that's scared. I'm seeing this person here that's hunched over and in the dark, just miserable. Protect them so that they don't have to go through more of that, and try to help through doing past life activations for both of you. I guide activations all the time, and whenever I do them, I always intend that stuff is balancing both the masculine and feminine energies. So help to reassure them through your energetic work too, and do the energetic work that you're being called to do to help the partnership. But I think that this is going to be a time where you guys can really heal. So let me see what may happen. We have the sun. So you've got the Sun twice. This is the happiest card in the deck. This is clarity. This is divine masculine energy as well. So I feel like you do have the potential for your Ten of Pentacles with your divine masculine. You have the potential for union here. So Ten of Pentacles is that loyal companion that spends the rest of their life with you. They want to be there. And I feel like this person does want to be there. Look at Three of Pentacles. You got it twice. You got the Three of Pentacles twice. You got the Sun twice. Like, this is somebody that wants to work on the partnership with you. But I feel like, honestly, in this one, your masculine may actually need you, or your feminine may need you to, like, take the lead in navigating and telling them how to build this, okay? Like, they are there to build with you, but they may need you to be, like, the one that tells this dude what to do, you know? Like, you guys talk about it, and then you take the final call. I feel like they kind of need you to help in that way. And that's what's going to give them that clarity to realize that this is a true partnership that can work with them. And it's going to give them the strength to see how much you love them so that they can heal the wounds of the past. Because I feel like this masculine may have had a lot of heartache, whether it was from you or other feminines. I feel like the divine and the divine feminine too. I feel like you've both been through it. I feel like you guys have had some really toxic relationships in the past that were really hard to get through. And that's, you will have triggers inside of you from your past relationships that come and get triggered by your new person. So if you were cheated on, you're going to think that they're cheating on you. If you were lied to, you're going to think they're lying to you. You know, like all of those things. If you were ever abandoned, it's going to come up. It doesn't have to just be romantic relationships either. It can be like friends, family, past lives. Again, like you've had your hearts broken many times. So you two need to work together to heal those wounds of the past. But I do feel like the end result here is temperance. It's balance. It's union. But be patient. Don't rush it. And know that you can be very abundant together. When divine masculine and divine feminine come together in a twin flame union, for the Four of Wands twin flame 11-11 union, the abundance just opens up. You have clarity and light that you've never had before. And this is like the reassurance from spirit that you can have all of that. So just work together and stay firm in your boundaries. So I hope that assists you. I'm going to move on to number 3 at 3637. And this is to find out they're back, now what? So if your person has come back, if you're in limited contact, or even if you're in separation, you can find out like when they come back, now what's going to happen, or now what needs to happen to keep them back, okay? So we have the Tower, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Ten of Wands, and then we have the Hierophant. We have the Eight of Pentacles, we have Fire Puppy, which is the Knight of Wands, we have the Hermit, we have the Chariot, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. So let me just get a couple of these light workers. Karmic Clearing, which I think came out number 1. And Dark Angel, and the Third Ray of Creative Intelligence. So honestly, guys, if you're watching this pile, I feel like there may be messages in all piles for you, for all of you guys. I feel like you may be able to take messages from each pile, honestly. I should have just done this as one big reading, but I'm already feeling like similar energy coming through from both of the piles. So with the Tower, I feel like whoever's come back to you, whether it's your feminine or masculine, they have gone through something big. They may have come to the end of a karmic contract, because we have karma clearing here. So I feel like they could have come to the end of a relationship with a third party, or they could have just had something big come to an end in their own karmic, stuff. Whatever stuff was holding them back from coming towards you. It could have been an epiphany, or it could have been like a real life thing, like maybe a parent passed, or a family member's gone, or a significant relationship has come to an end. Something big has happened in this person's life, whether it's intellectually or whether it's just in the physical world, somebody actually leaving. Something big has happened. And with the Two of Swords, I feel like it's assisted this person in taking off the blindfold so that they could start to make decisions in regards to this connection. They were carrying a lot of energetic baggage when it came to you and this connection, and I feel like whatever has transpired here with the karma and with the Tower falling, they've now released this, and they're seeing this from a new perspective. They're realizing the insecurities and the things that they were hanging on to were being detrimental to this connection, and that they were staying stuck in things that they shouldn't have stayed in, or like And it doesn't even have to be like, it could just be a way of thinking. Like they were just staying stuck in something, some way of being that was keeping them from coming towards you for their commitment. And this is a very high spiritual commitment that they have with you. And I feel like they've also understood that through whatever has transpired here. You know, they've cleared things up. It's like the smoke has risen and they're seeing through and they're like, holy shit, like this is where I'm meant to be. Like this is bigger than me. This is bigger than what I realized it may have been. And I also feel like this person was in the hermit mode. So they could have been in depression mode. We just had a divine masculine in pile 2 that was like coming out of the dark night of the soul. And here we have the dark angel, which has very similar energy and frequency for me. And with this, you see this third ray of creative intelligence. When you're in the hermit mode, when you're in the dark night of the soul, you're clearing out karma. You're clearing out bullshit. You're taking that spiritual vow to yourself. You're taking into that next level of consciousness. You're awakening. You're understanding, you're learning, you're growing, you're healing, and you're getting creative and finding that intelligence inside of you to break out of like the ego mind, to break out of society's conditionings, which is what divine masculine pile 1 was having, was like this spiritual awakening. So I feel like, and this could be vice versa, just be mindful. And it's not, I don't try to read for sexes. So if you're in a same sex thing, whatever, I'm just reading the energy that's coming through. And I feel like for a majority of the viewers, it's going to be the divine masculine going through this, but it can be vice versa. So take it as it resonates, leave the rest. But this person has come out of the dark. This person is starting to rise. They were in a cocoon. They were like the caterpillar. They've broken out of that and they're starting to rise into the light, into the transformation of the butterfly. And they've learned a lot while they were in that dark night energy or in that karmic stuff that needed to be healed. They've had this like big moment of something changing significantly in their life. And I feel like some of them were in a dark depression. Some of them were holding on to these burdens and these things for way too long. They were like, you know, holding on to it rather than just making the decision that needed to be made. They wanted to keep the blindfold on because they didn't want to face the light. They didn't want to face the truth. And I feel like Spirit was like, oh yeah, well here it is, because they just weren't seeing it. And that's when this tower came crumbling. That's when the epiphanies were had. That's when they took that next level commitment to Spirit and to you, into realizing that you are the choice, that you aren't the reason for their burdens, that there's something bigger than this that was burdening them. And they were just, you know, perceiving things in a limited way of viewing stuff, and they were running from it because of the intensity of it. And so now they're back, but I feel like just like in the other piles, they're gonna be delicate because this is a lot to undergo. When you first come out of the dark night of the soul, you're on that next level shit. You're awakened to a whole mess of things, and that can bring about depression because you realize how fucked up the world is, and you realize how many people don't understand it, and you want to tell everybody about it. You want to tell everybody like, dude, you don't have to live like that. Like, why do you live like that? You want to start asking people big questions beyond like, hey, what car do you have? Or like, oh yeah, like just stupid shit that doesn't matter to anybody other than ego. And when you come out of that, it's almost like you don't even know how to be. Like the people that you spend your time with you're gonna want to like start to pull away from that. Even your family, like you don't even want to tell the people that you're thinking these things because you're gonna think they're gonna think you're fucking crazy. So you start thinking if you're crazy. Like when I had my awakening, I looked up schizophrenia. I looked up all this stuff because out of nowhere, I had all this information come into my brain and these abilities that have just continued to increase. But I never had like any beliefs, you know. I grew up with no beliefs. We didn't believe in God. We didn't believe in anything. We just existed. My stepdad was all about science, and that was it. But after that, I was like, this dude, like, holy fuck, like, I guess I shouldn't tell anybody. And I stayed in the closet for a while about it. But then I finally came out, and I feel like that's what this person's wanting to do, is to come out of their closet, to come out of the dark. And again, it could just be in regards to realizing you are bigger in their life than other things. But I do feel like this dark night of the soul is going to lead to another, that's going to lead to another, that's going to lead to another, that's going to lead to the light. This is going to lead to a big transformation. They're going to have these epiphany moments again and again and again. And so that's going to be difficult to navigate through. And that's going to be something that you need to be delicate with this person. With the fire puppy, hi puppy, this is Alcyon. With the fire puppy, Alcyon is a starseed dog, so she is a healer. With the fire puppy, that is the Knight of Wands. So I feel like, again, there is an energy of having that passion to come charging in, but you want to be careful because we all know that sometimes the Knight of Wands can be somewhat of, here I am, but I'm going to, rush back out just as fast as I came in. Or it could be like, sometimes we see it as like a player, somebody that comes in, just has sex and then leaves. So you want to be careful that you're not having like a cycle like that repeat where, they just come in and go out. But I don't feel like that's what they want to do. And if they do that, it may be like induced from depression. It may be induced from alcohol or drugs or something, wanting to come out of the darkness and kind of like, because I feel like this energy too, when you go through the dark night of the soul and you're clearing karma, there could be addictions. There could be things that they've held on to. So if they come in, and I feel like for a majority of you, this is just somebody in this energy of having that fire to come in, but they may not have the fire or the stamina to stick through. So just keep that in mind. But I do feel like they want to. And so just keep in mind, if their fire goes out and they go back into their hole, it's the depression. It could be an addiction. It could be just a way of feeling, like not being ready to commit. But I don't think it's because of you. I think it's because there's just like something that like went out inside of them. Like if you've ever suffered from depression, you'll know like some days you feel this fiery passion where you're just like ready to take on the world and all these commitments. And then the next day you've got like no desire to do anything. And I feel like they could go through that a little bit with the like this energy of the dark angel, and clearing out karma isn't easy. That's a big thing, especially if they were closed off to even seeing it in the past. And if you go through a tower moment, that's going to impact you. And again, awakening is going to impact you like that too, because it's like, oh my God, I have all this light and all this information. And then you look at the world and you're like, Mrr. So and then you go into the dark stuff like, oh my God, the world's being controlled and blah, 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 blah. And you can get sucked into that and stay really down for way too long. You can look at it, acknowledge it, know it, but you can't let it control you, because that's like the whole fucking purpose of it happening anyways, to control and to base things out of fear. But I do feel like this person could be going through fluctuations in their emotions and their energy like that. So just be mindful of it. And then with the Queen of Wands coming through, I feel like this passion is here for you. Like I feel like they want to give you the King of Wands energy to go along with your Queen of Wands energy, because I feel like you're in this fiery, passionate energy. Like you're out there, you've gone through your dark nights, you've probably cleared up some more karma, you've been learning, you've been growing, you've been ascending, you've been healing, and like they want that. They want to be there beside you, but I don't know if they're going to have the full-on stamina to stick it out. So just continue to use the wisdom and the knowledge that you've learned to plant the seeds that are needed at this time for this person. So it's like you're already in the Eight of Pentacles. You've already acquired the wisdom and the knowledge. You've already cleared out the cobwebs and the bullshit and the energy that wasn't working for you, so that you could embody this passionate energy. Divine Feminine. And then for the Divine Masculine, they're, kind of like behind you, where they need to start planting the seeds of the wisdom and the knowledge that's going to assist them to come into this next level commitment, or to this spiritual commitment. And they could have issues with commitment, but I do feel like they want to be there, but they just might not be ready for full-on commitment. They still want to kind of spend time alone. I don't think it's they want to spend time with other people necessarily. It could just be that they want to have like their freedom to be the hermit, to go into their reflection and not like be expected to answer you or be expected to do things. Basically, they just kind of have that younger energy where it's like, I just want to live my life by myself and do what I want to do. But they also want to be there with you, and they have passion for you. That's why I feel like there's that wishy-washy, like, and it's not against you, it's just how they feel. So keep that in mind and help them to plant the seeds that they need to grow, and to realize that even if they have you in their life, it doesn't mean that those things are part of the commitment. It's a spiritual commitment. It's a spiritual contract. It doesn't mean like you gotta check in every 4 hours, and like it's a different type of thing. So just help them to learn and grow, and don't go into that energy of like having all these expectations on them. Give them the freedom to kind of explore this new energy. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles here too. So again, give them the wisdom and the knowledge that you've acquired. You know what it's like to go back into separation. You know what's happened in the past. You've already like had the web woven in this connection time and time again. You guys have been caught, you've been eaten, you've been killed, you've been left, you've rebuilt the web. You catch them, you get them, and they release. And it's like, it's so like, just like, So don't repeat it. Okay, don't repeat the things of the past. Remember what has been learned here. All right, see this again? Be the spider energy and just like create that beautiful place for them to be, for them to feel safe. But don't try to trap them in your web, you know? I feel like that's a big message for a lot of feminines is like, give them the room. Okay, give them the room to grow. Don't try to get them all stuck up into your web, because this person does have that spirit inside of them that just wants to be free and able to be alone sometimes. And it's not because they don't want to be with you. It's just that they don't want to be like caught in a web yet. Okay, so they need time to grow and they need time to process, and you already have this wisdom, so approach it with that fiery passion and have your boundaries. Don't let them treat you like a one-night stand, but don't expect them to commit to you fully quickly, because I feel like they just need more time to process the things that they've learned and the things that they've seen and had to grow from, and they're going through a lot of energy. And with the Chariot here though, I do feel like this does have the potential to move pretty quickly, so just give them that freedom and that will speed things up. But if you start trying to like kind of hold them in place or trying to set certain limitations or expectations on it, that's what's going to be the downfall here. So you want to make sure that you just give them that room and that space to be who they are and to grow, because they're this little cute puppy that needs time, right? You want to give them time to become, you know, the full-on King of Wands. And you're in your Queen of Wands energy, so you do have mirroring going on. The only problem is they're not at the same level as you. They're not king yet. They're still in the Knight energy, so it's a delicate energy. But be careful too. Don't get yourself played. You know, you can be that sexy, passionate woman. You guys can have fun together, but just make sure they're respecting you, and that they're respecting the spiritual part of this connection as well. The spiritual decree is like number 41. They need to change, like I do feel like they did change, but for some of you they may come back or they may start to repeat things that they did in the past, and if you let that karma repeat, you're gonna have to go through the same cycle and rebuild that fucking web. So don't let the history repeat itself. Okay, I feel like that's an important message for you guys, is to, you know, have boundaries without all of the like control issues, but also don't let them take advantage of you and your like love for them. So let's see what may happen. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So again, we have another Knight, but this is a solid Knight. This Knight is working towards something. Like he's like the valuable Knight that is trying to build his value and his worth. He is the one that, you know, is slowly progressing towards something stable. Okay, so he's like the opposite of the Knight of Wands. He is, and I feel like this is what this guy wants, but he's just used to being in that other energy, or he comes rushing in that energy. But when it comes down to this, he kind of like he backs away from it. So it's been taking him forever to get through this energy of the Knight of Pentacles. And you know, I feel like all of the masculines have all of these energies available to them at any time. It just depends on what one they're tapping into at one moment. So I feel like this masculine is tapping back and forth between the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is the one that's going to lead you to your wish fulfillment. And I feel like it's their wish too to have victory with you. They're trying to work on the strength of themselves and the strength of this connection. They've seen you in your Knight of Pentacles energy, and they want that. They like that. They're looking at things from a different perspective. They've cleared shit up, but they like this energy of the passion part of you. They like this energy of the single part of you. They like that part of you that's like independent and doesn't need them. So try to make sure you don't go back into old tendencies of like trying to trap them, or trying to like, you know, become codependent, or like getting all caught up the minute they walk back in. Just try to stay strong and not let them like try, you know, like they come in and they ignite your fire, they get you going, they say things, and then they pull back. So try not to go rushing after them when they do that. Try to stay underground. Try to stay in this beautiful single energy, and let them come to you. But also approach it with unconditional love, but boundaries. If they're not going to respect you for this energy, if they're going to treat you poorly, then don't let them back in. If they're going to be, sleeping with a bunch of people, or, treating people better than they treat you, then that's not okay. Like if they only want to see you once in a while, and they're like taking other people out to do fun things and stuff like that, like pull yourself away from that. Don't let that type of shit happen. But if like you're okay with being in the single energy, make sure that you guys have some sort of boundaries established about what's cool and what isn't cool. Like I don't need you to check in every day, but like expect them to not be like sleeping with a bunch of other people, especially if they're sleeping with you, because everybody's got fucking like so much shit wrong with them now. Like 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people has like herpes. 1 in like 3, like everybody's got something basically. Like the HPV, everybody's got something. So make sure you have firm boundaries in that, and like make sure they're telling you their truth and they're in a place of integrity. If you ask them like, have they been tested, or are they sleeping with other people, and then you find out that they haven't, or that they're not telling you the truth, cut that out. But I do feel like for majority of this person is ready to tell the truth to you, but I just feel like there may be an issue in regards to the singleness. Okay, so you may be wanting more than what they're ready to give right now, but I feel like they're working towards it. They're trying to find the strength to come towards that because they're passionate for you, because they see the value of you. But the problem is their energy just isn't fully there yet. So you got to give them the time to progress in that, but demand truth, demand that they're in that King of Swords energy. But they can take their time in the commitment. They can take their time in other areas, but they can't take their time in the respect for you. And especially if they want to like have sex with you, if they want to have their cake and eat it too, then you by all means have the right to put down some healthy boundaries and some expectations. But don't try to weave this web into like being like, it's my way or the highway, like I need you to be here every day, all day. And I mean, it's, if you're not cool with them dating other people, then put that into your stuff. But if you're okay with them dating other people, know that that's probably going to trigger you, and that will be something that you have to deal with. But I feel like the main thing too is to just kind of help this person to plant the seeds of their potential to grow, because I do feel like they've gone through some stuff, and I feel like they have. For a majority of them, they have let go of karmic partners. And that's what this whole month is about releasing karmic people. So they could have had a karmic thing come to an end. They're now seeing without the blindfold. They're ready to release the burdens. They may be realizing that you weren't the cause of the burdens in the past, and they may be ready to come back towards you because they're passionate about you, but because you're in this energy. So stay in that energy, demand the truth and integrity, and know that you can have your victory. Know that this is a next level commitment that's coming in. But just like anything, we always have the tendency to lose it again. So stay in that positive mindset. And I just shuffled, it came out again. This is your next level commitment, but be committed to yourself so that you guys can move out of the troubles of the past. You can move on from the worry in the mind, the worry in the energy, the worry within, like, where's this going? Kind of just release any control around it and allow it to flow easily and effortlessly. Don't think about the times you've been stabbed in the back, and try not to go into that place of feeling defeated if not every little thing goes the way you would hope it to. Even if they pull away and they go ghost again, don't go back into that energy. Just know that the fact that they came back means that there's a reason, okay? Like, you may have thought the last time they left they were never coming back, so just keep reminding yourself that if they came back, it's part of this contract. They'll be back again. They're still working on like clearing up the karma. They're still working with their past lives, their ancestral lineage. Just keep doing your meditations, keep doing your inner healing, and know that your new beginning is here to give you what you want, but there's insecurities that are looming in the background that can really impact it. So you're the creator of your reality. If you want to focus on the insecurities in the dark, in the shadow, and the secrets and things like that, those are what's going to manifest. So keep that in mind. Move on out of those and just allow yourself to put this stuff to an end. Reverse that energy and take that next level commitment to yourself and to your person, and know that they're there because it's a spiritual connection, and that even if they go ghost again, they'll be back. All right. So I hope that this assists you. If it did, hit the like. If it didn't, you can dislike. Either way, that helps me out. Thank you guys very much for all the liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for all the donations. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to donate, there is a link down below. If you would like to send a deck, there's an Amazon wishlist down below. If you would like a private reading, I am on a 2-week wait, but I can add you to my list. So thank you, thank you, thank you. In Monet, namaste.